seems that we're becoming a nation of pill poppers, too reliant on medication.
The most recent figures suggest we each pick up, on average, more than 16, count them, 16 prescriptions a year.
Yes, and while health professionals say it's down to better diagnosis and treatment, one university professor in Essex says the pharmaceutical industry could be partly to blame. Victoria Webb has more.
These prescriptions are lined up and ready to go at Rainbow Pharmacy in Ipswich. The orders keep coming in, and research would suggest that demand is rising by around 5% a year. At the University of Essex, Professor Joan Busfield's paper, A Pill for Every Ill, says we're taking some medicines when we don't really need to, and the commercial pharmaceutical industry is partly to blame.
There is this process of what some people call medicalisation of problems, some people call disease mongering, in which we generate and identify new ailments.
Figures show that in 2006, the NHS spent £22 million a day on prescription drugs, a 60% increase in real terms on a decade earlier. In 2008, each individual collected more than 16 prescriptions a year on average. That's twice as many as 20 years ago. With so many medicines available to buy over the counter these days, the figures could be a lot higher. But some health professionals say it's all down to improved diagnosis and an ageing population.
It's inevitable that drug treatment will increase. However, the use of medicines is also has a very big part to play in saving lives and improving the quality of life for many patients who have long-term conditions.
Hardly go to the doctors, don't even really take vitamins or anything, do we?
I have a chemist shop at home.
Yeah, as I'm diabetic, I tend to have half a dozen different pills.
If you want to keep well, you've got to take the things that's provided for you, haven't you?
At Mount Farm Surgery in Bury St Edmunds, Dr Claire Giles says GPs only ever give out medication if it can help a patient.
For illnesses like diabetes and high blood pressure, for example, which is making a big progress, we think, and it's already starting to be shown for the long-term health of the population. But so there are lots of people on lots of medications, but hopefully that's for a good reason.
Medical science will continue coming up with more treatments, but with health spending under increasing pressure, doctors may have to target prescriptions carefully. Victoria Webb, Anglia News, Ipswich.
It's an interesting topic, isn't it? We had some views there, but would you say we're too reliant on prescription medicine?
Why don't you tell us about your experience? It's the usual email address, jonathanandbecky@itv.com.
Still to come tonight, action from the weekend's football matches. Hopes of building a bypass at Stratton are fading after Norfolk County Council admitted that it's unlikely funding will be found before the planning permission runs out in June. Campaigners have been calling for a bypass for more than 70 years, arguing it's crucial to cut traffic and speed up journeys along the A140 between Norwich and Ipswich. But it now seems there's little chance of securing the £35 million that's needed.
I think there is a chance at some stage in the future South Norfolk Council with developers and possibly with some help from the County Council will be able to get a Stratton bypass. Stratton bypass is a must, and at some stage it will happen.
And you can see more on that story on our website. Just go to itv.com/Anglia after the programme.
Meanwhile, plans have been introduced to ban lorries from overtaking on a stretch of the M11 in Essex. Lorry drivers will be restricted on a two-lane stretch of the motorway just south of Junction 9 near Saffron Walden. The 18-month trial will start on April the 12th, and it's hoped it'll free up the outside lane for cars and other faster vehicles.
Work is underway on a major new housing development near Ipswich. This old cement works and neighbouring land at Great Blakenham will be used to build 350 new homes, plus a primary school and railway station. Eventually, developers plan to create an indoor winter sports resort on the site.
With a national strike due to begin after Easter, the immediate future of our railway network is unclear.
But on one line in Norfolk, trains are certain to run, and a young apprentice engineer is partly responsible for that, as Malcolm Robertson reports.
It's full steam ahead for Easter. That means a new season on the Wells and Walsingham Light Railway in Norfolk. And for 19-year-old Thomas Jones, that can't come soon enough. He's recently been taken on as an apprentice, and while many of his contemporaries might be looking at more modern pursuits, Thomas's ambitions have a close link to the past and the bygone days of steam.
Ever since I was little, I've just wanted to be a train driver. Used to go everywhere just to see them. And I did some work experience at Norfolk Railway for a little while. And then I got offered the job to come and do this.
Working on what's claimed to be the longest narrow-gauge railway of its kind in the country, there's a lot to learn. Whether it's hooking up the engine to the train or applying a bit of spit and polish to the Norfolk Hero, which he helped get ready for the Good Friday reopening, it all points to a valuable insight into how this light railway operates. Roy Francis founded the railway, and he's pleased to see some young blood getting on board.
We do need more young people involved in railway preservation because we're getting old. Oh, he's all right. Yeah, he's shaped up all right.
When the new season's up and running, a lot of passengers will be expected to make the 4-mile journey from Wells to Walsingham. At the moment, Thomas can only drive the engine under supervision. But he's looking forward to the day when he can swap the flag for the footplate. Malcolm Robertson, Anglia News, at Wells in Norfolk.
I wonder if he's allowed to blow the whistle on his own. Anyway, sports, and Roy Keane's future as Ipswich manager is under the spotlight again, despite taking them a step closer to safety in the Championship.
And the Championship is now tantalisingly close for Norwich after that dramatic late win over Leeds in League One. Donovan Blake reports.
The delight among these Norwich supporters is clear to see, especially with their team opening up an 11-point lead at the top of League One. Victory over their nearest challengers Leeds, who finished with 10 men, came courtesy of this late goal from Chris Martin, enough to convince most fans that the title race is over.
We're going up. That's just, well, the running's looking good, so keep it going, we'll be there.
How many points have we won in the last 5 minutes? Unbelievable.
It's always late goals for you, isn't it?
That's a sign of going up, mate.
That's testament to our lads as a team, and yeah, there wasn't many chances in the game. Leeds had a bit of the ball, which they're entitled to do, but yeah, I think the performance and the result was massive for us.
More from League One shortly, but Roy Keane's position as Ipswich manager is back on the agenda for some newspapers. Headlines at the weekend suggested he was close to losing his job. Today they heralded support from the club and players after they edged closer towards Championship survival. In red here, Town earned a valuable point at Swansea. Daryl Murphy coming closest to scoring, although former striker Shefki Kuchi could have won it for their hosts. Peterborough also drew a blank, but they couldn't keep a clean sheet, Bristol City sending them to a 4th straight defeat. Back to League One, and remember Diego Maradona's Hand of God goal for Argentina against England? Well, this goal has already been described as a Garadona, scored by Wycombe's Gareth Ainsworth against Colchester. And this is the reason why: contact with the hand rather than head. The U's were incensed that the officials missed it. It wiped out their 1-goal lead provided by Ian Henderson. And despite scoring 3 times, it was this own goal from Anthony Grant which cost Southend at Bristol Rovers. They lost 4-3. Donovan Blake, Anglia News.
A Garadona, a Wroxham of the Eastern Counties League, are 90 minutes away from reaching the FA Vase final. The Norfolk side take a 2-0 lead into the second leg of their semi-final with Whitehawk after yesterday's win in Brighton. The home leg is next Saturday.